All right, so here we go. Yes, we are taking our first look at the upcoming Cyberpunk expansion known as Phantom Liberty. Here's actual gameplay. So we got a big tease to the expansion. And guess what? They're going to be releasing this on new gen only. So they're dropping support for old gen consoles when it comes to major updates to Cyberpunk 2077. And also, we got to go over here and check out patch 1.6, which is live right now. It's known as the Edge Runners update. And we have a ton of patch notes, some new weapons added, and some changes to, yes, the gameplay, the weapons, the perk system as well, and quests and things like that. So I'm going to dive into that for you all in just a moment. But that's not all. There was so much stuff discussed on the CD Projekt Red stream today, including this one right here. A big police system overhaul and vehicle-to-vehicle combat are going to be coming to Cyberpunk. There's going to be even more updates after patch 1.6. And yes, they're going to be adding some sort of new changes to Max Tech, which is a highly requested feature as well. So I'm so curious to see what they're doing with that as well. And then we have this right here, future updates, new gameplay loop for Melee, new actions in perk trees, new cyberware, and more. That's coming after patch 1.6. So that's really, really important to note as well. And then, yeah, in this patch 1.6, which is live right now, by the way, on all platforms, you got to remember that it's focused around Edge Runners content. We're going to be talking about the weapons and the content related to Edge Runners, as well as a quest line in there. And then there was something that surprised me big time related to the announcements today, is that, yes, Johnny Silverhand will be returning to Night City, thanks to the brand new expansion coming up in 2023. I was not expecting that at all, so that got me super hyped because it shows that yes, CD Projekt Red is willing to invest in Cyberpunk 2077. So yes, that's really, really good news actually. Now, here we go. We're going to talk about this one as well. This was actually near the end of the stream. I don't know why it wasn't more forward in the stream. Honestly, this is some absolutely huge news. In my opinion, almost as big as the expansion. It was kind of missed by some of you. Check it out. It says RAD Mod was just announced, made by CD Projekt Red in collaboration with the people behind Wolvenkit, the people that are currently modding the hell out of Cyberpunk 2077, updating it and making it better and better each day. This is going to allow modders to push the game to Skyrim levels. And it's so exciting because Cyberpunk is going to be a completely different beast when it comes to like a couple of years down the road. So I'm super hyped for that. That was a huge announcement. Kind of went under the radar in my opinion. But you guys are probably wondering also, yo, Robbie, what about New Game Plus? That's one of the most requested features. So we do have some comments here from the dev team. We're going to get into that right now, actually. So let's do this, shall we? So here's the question here from Abner, who says this: I understand if you can't respond, but assuming that you can, do you know what the thinking is on further stalling the New Game Plus option? To my mind, it's the single most sought after feature, maybe second to Transmog, but I've been told that was close to functional like a year ago. And we have a response from Miles Toss, who of course is a developer on Cyberpunk 2077. And he goes on to say this: New Game Plus for Cyberpunk is an incredibly complex feature to make. It's rebalancing the entire game, enemies, equipment, and items, and tons of testing and tweaking. There's many skill checks in gameplay and dialogues. What happens here? How do we handle balance, attribute, and perk points? Furthermore, he goes on to say this right here. He says, does cyberware in early game break anything new? Can the player get to places with double jump they shouldn't? What happens when you get your first grip at Vix, have Gorilla Fist? Part where you see the surgery with your hand may potentially need to be reworked entirely. And then finally, he goes on to say this one right here. Do you keep your vehicles? How do we handle all those scenarios? Just to name a few questions we need to answer. None of which are impossible, but you see how it is a lot more work than one may think at first glance. We're listening and investigating. No promises, however. New Game Plus is pretty much, we don't know what's going to happen with that. There's no guarantees with New Game Plus right now. So honestly, don't hold your breath with that one. Just look at future updates and then also the expansion. New Game Plus is up in the air for now. We'll see. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, now it's time to get into, of course, what we're going to be seeing today from patch 1.6, known as the Edge Runners update. It definitely ties into the new Cyberpunk Netflix anime series, which is releasing on September 13th on, of course, Netflix. So that is going to be really, really cool. Remember, this is live right now. The patch is live right now on all platforms, but we're going to get into this, starting out with the gameplay that was shown off. These are some of the new weapons. We have a new sniper rifle, which we did see leaks for this previously, and hey, those leaks actually turned out to be true. But this looks really, really cool. I love the effects behind it, and it looks like a beast. And then we also have this really nice new shotgun, which is sleek. I personally love the shotguns in Cyberpunk 2077. For them to add another one, I am so down for that. And then we have some new melee weapons. They showed off this melee weapon. It's like a saw blade thing, which looks really, really cool. Looks like it would absolutely saw someone in half. And then here we get into the actual Edge Runners content as well. And as you can see, we have some really, really cool, I believe it's a shotgun and a pistol related to that. And they did some really cool stuff with the knife throwing as well. And they've added poisonous effects to knife throwing, and then some perk systems related to that. I'm going to get into that here through the patch notes. But this is also really cool. They added some new effects to the cycle lights, different colors there, and we get to see our first look at the actual jacket related to Edge Runners. So yeah, there's a new jacket. Hey, at least you could see it from third person when on the bike, so that's at least nice. But I would love to have a fully fleshed out third person view to really enjoy this jacket and some of the other items added to the game. And yes, they added what is called a wardrobe, which is going to be the new transmog system in the game. So you can actually look the way you want to without affecting the stats. So that's going to be cool. You don't have to look like crap while worrying about your stats. So this, to me, is a big update and a big change. I told you guys that this would likely end up in this update, and that has ended up being correct here. Now, they did add some hairstyles. I know a lot of us weren't like begging for new hairstyles. I think there was plenty here. But yeah, some cool stuff going on here, especially if you are the type that really likes the photo mode or customizing your character. But again, you really don't see much of your character. And they did add nibbles, as you can see here too, the actual photo mode. So you can have fun with that. Take a picture with your favorite pet. And I really like this. The arcade machines now have an actual playable game called Roach Race, which is, of course, a nod to The Witcher 3. I think this is really cool. I think they should keep going with this. It's the sort of thing that you guys wanted to see. And yeah, again, perk system has seen some changes as well. More on the side of the knife throwing stuff with poisonous stuff. And then, of course, you have the RAD Mod, which was recently introduced as well, which is going to be a huge game changer. But let's get into, of course, exactly what is going on with patch 1.6 through the patch notes. Let's do this, shall we? So first and foremost, I'm highlighting the most important stuff here. And I'm going to throw the link in the description to the patch notes. So if you really, really want to dive into detail with stuff that isn't as important, you can, of course. But here is this. We have 3 new gigs. Fixers will give you 3 new gigs. Concrete cage trap, and here are the locations that you can actually go to. So if you want to pause the video and actually save this, you can if you want to try these new gigs out. But yeah, 3 new gigs are going to be happening, and it's interesting because a leak stated that there were a total of 6. So to me, it seems like they're holding 3 other gigs for another update, perhaps. That's going to be me speculating, of course. But that's what I'm assuming, because it seems like we're going to be getting even more updates based on what they said in the stream today. But yeah, we have 6 new firearms that have been added. A smart pistol, a tech submachine gun, and then we also have what's called the hypercritical iconic precision rifle. So that's going to be obtainable in the gig concrete cage trap, and then the VST-37 power shotgun. And then we have a power light machine gun and a power assault rifle. Now, some of these can be obtained through gigs, as you can clearly see, but some also through some of these new vendors that have been added around Night City. So yeah, they did add some new geeks and vendors and things like that in the game as well. But you know what? They didn't stop there with the weapon additions. They have some new melee weapons that were introduced as well. We got to see one of those, which was actually pretty cool. And they did do some interesting things to the perk system regarding melee weapons, like a machete category and things like that. So that's interesting. Now, this is really cool. Check this out. We have cross progression. It says added a cross progression feature between platforms. Your latest saves will be automatically uploaded to the cloud, so you can continue where you left off easily on other platforms. Cross progression provides the latest save for every save type, quick, auto, manual, etc. Feature becomes available after you log in with your account from the main page or in the in-game load game menu. Cross progression may be limited when it comes to console versions with regional restrictions. You can find out more details here. Again, all that's in the patch notes, but that's cool. You know, I play on PlayStation 5 and PC, bounce back and forth. Now, mods are going to be, you know, the thing that is interesting there, but I'm curious to see how it works and how well that actually works. So yes, let's keep going. Of course, we know about the Edge Runners content that has been added to the game, and then the arcade game that was added and nibbles in photo mode. But here's this right here. Here's some additional things that actually went on to add. It says added an option to modify V's face and body at Ripper Doc clinics. V won't continuously fidget in character creator anymore. Finally, I saw so many of you mentioning that in the comments of my videos. I really didn't know how much that was bothering you guys. So now you don't have to worry about V having like a seizure every single time you try to make an update to your character in character creation mode. And then we have neon rims on bikes now come in different colors, and then added new hairstyles in character creation. So they did do some stuff with character creation. But yes, you know, it's nice to see that they are continuing to update Cyberpunk 2077. Overall, this is just another update. That's how I feel about it. And I was very cautious about overhyping things like New Game Plus. I was so paranoid about saying anything about that, and I guess that was the right call because, yeah, New Game Plus did not come to update 1.6. I wish it did. Now, things that I really do wish came with this update are, of course, an update to the police system. I was hoping that they would have some news about that. It's a shame that we've waited for so long for an update since update 1.5, and we didn't even get like a police system overhaul. Now, I am happy with some of the new content that we are receiving in this update, like the new weapons, but again, there's like no new cars, no indication if we would be getting full car customization in the future for this game, which I was really hoping to hear something related to that. But yeah, this is definitely a step in the right direction. Now, one thing I'm super hyped about is this over here, which of course is the Phantom Liberty expansion. That is definitely on my mind, and I think this update does prove that most of the team is all hands on deck with this right here. This is their primary focus. I can clearly see that now based on what we are seeing from the gameplay. I'm just going to say it's looking absolutely beautiful, and part of me is actually kind of relieved that they're doing new gen only so they can hyper focus on that and really build something absolutely amazing with new gen tech. I know a lot of people are probably going to be bummed that they're going to be left out from this expansion because they're stuck on old hardware. But I feel like Cyberpunk, I'm conflicted, you know. I feel like they should have really been careful about developing this on old gen anyway, considering how it turned out. But yeah, let me know what you guys make of this. Also, before I leave, I need to mention something. So I did stream the CD Projekt Red live stream that revealed the expansion trailer. They talked about update 1.6, and you guys, I want to say thank you for sending in the donations. And I forgot to say thank you to someone, and I want to do that right now. We have Frame Drop, who sent in a donation. Thank you so much. He says, people really butthurt about New Game Plus. Tired of people treating CD Projekt Red like EA. Yes, the launch was bad and missing features and content, but name one other company that has put this much post work after. Yeah, I just hope that they have like a permanent team, even though they're moving on to The Witcher 4 and things like that, and Unreal Engine 5. I want a permanent team on Cyberpunk. I want expansion pack 2, expansion pack 3, bring on the DLCs. You know, that's just how I feel about it. I would hate for them to just say, oh, expansion pack is out, we're done. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens, but I just love what they've done so far with Cyberpunk 2077. And yes, a lot of it is late. Yes, some of it A lot of it should have been here at launch, but this game's shaping up to be something absolutely nice. All right, there it is. The latest happenings around Cyberpunk 2077. Let me know what you make of patch 1.6, and always let me know what you guys want to see in the future for Cyberpunk. And let me also know what you think about that expansion trailer. That's looking really sharp. But thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care.